Hi guys, it's Dark Age Week here on beastsofwar.com, and we have an amazing prize pool that must be won. First up, we have an amazing 1000 point 2-player starter bundle for you and me to get into the game, including 2 500 point armies, all the cards, tokens and templates you need to get into the game, and signed copies of the core rulebook and the Forsaken book. We then have 7 starter sets up for grabs, also including a signed copy of the core rulebook. As if that wasn't enough prizes for you, our Beasts of War members are in with a chance of winning 5 amazing spot prizes from some of the coolest comments this week. Hi guys, welcome to another video on Dark Age Week here on beastsofwar.com. I'm joined by the guys from Cool Mini or Not, and today we're having a look at the core. So it's the robot faction this time. Now these guys interest me because I love big nasty death machines. So who are they? What is the motivation behind this faction?
Well, going back to talking about Samaria and how it sort of developed, the human habitation of Samaria developed. Corporations sending their black ops teams really to Samaria to conduct experiments that were illegal in the rest of the galaxy. So in this one, we're talking about a corporation that was working on a sentient AI.
Yeah.
And what happened with that after the abandonment.
Well, where did they get the technology for this particular beastie?
So a small bit of backstory is AI is completely illegal in the United Worlds, which is the pre-collapse basic conglomerate federation of planets that you had, because there was a big war that almost wiped out mankind when robots, gained sentience and rebelled. So they've been through this before, and they decided never again. But meanwhile, you have this one company, Asusa Dynamics, who was like, well, that was a long time ago, and we're smarter then. So they started developing this AI technology. In addition to that, though, they were developing a new energy core that they had found while they're out scavenging the universe, which turns out was reverse engineered from Kukukani technology, entropic drives that they had found on this planet they were exploring. So there was this energy battery that could function off of any organic material they found. Yeah. It could be broken down and just turned into raw energy.
Yeah. So basically, they've seen a limitless supply of power. I can set down an intelligent robotic force on a planet and have it strip out any and all materials I need from that planet.
Yep. And
continuously keep itself running because of any organic matter on said planet.
Exactly.
It's a good idea. Excellent business strategy. But it has apparently all went wrong, I'm guessing, because we now have things like this.
So what happened is you flash forward 500 years, the core have now re-woken up due to events in the storyline, and the central processing is, started looking for energy sources, and has found basically nothing on the planet, because this is not a lush green planet, this is a barren wasteland.
Yeah.
As a result, it's gotten a little desperate over keeping itself going. So all of those robots that it had for various purposes, it has begun to weaponize them all to go out and find whatever organic matter it can via whatever means it can.
Well, it's not exactly weaponized itself, it's repurposed itself to take on the specific organic matter that it's attempting to reclaim.
Very robotic thing to say.
So who are we seeing in this first image here?
So on the left, we have the TB-13s, and these are actually a little fun unit here because these are ex-pleasure robots.
Oh, okay.
Well, again, robots are used for a lot of things.
Yeah, okay.
And this is specifically one of those ones that were brought to the plants and given to like high corporate execs or things like that for rewards and things.
Yeah, yeah.
To do whatever they want, with, whatever.
Okay. And the other one?
So the other one is the Centurion, and these were used as bodyguards for those same corporate executives that were on the planet. As you see, they're basically meant to be look big and intimidating, and then keep their guys safe.
Yeah. Right. Play style for these particular two units. How do they play on the tabletop?
So the TB-13s are nicknamed the Terminal Beauties because they're called the most beautiful last thing you will ever see. They are very stealthy hit and run and infiltration robots. They will get up close. They're very hard to hit at ranged. And once they get in, they actually have monofilament like wires and claws that they use to just dice everything apart.
Yeah, so I'm guessing any big heavily armored guys are not going to want to see these.
Correct.
And our Centurion, I'm guessing he's just a massive ground and pound robot.
These are actually kind of bodyguard units. If you're running multiples of them, they will shield wall together and actually kind of fight like old style knights, if you would see or assume something like that. They can parry with their swords. They've got a decent defense, and they're just in general kind of your well-rounded ground troop for the core.
Nice, nice. Next up, we have one of the bigger machines. Now, what is this monster?
This is a Chirurgian. This is a repurposed medical robot. So what this does is it, in the standard universe, would go out and find soldiers or wounded on the battlefield, recover them, patch them up, or things like that. With the core, it's just meant to go out and dissect whatever it finds and find the best possible use for any of that matter it has.
Okay, that's quite scary. On the tabletop, how big is the miniature?
This fits very loosely on an 80mm base. Almost doesn't fit on there.
So quite big. We have another big beastie here. What is this monster?
This is the Icon CL457, the Iconoclast. This is one of the only models in the entire core range that is a character, and it actually has its own sentience and programming to it. This was made specifically to combat the Forsaken. The core saw the Forsaken are heavily religious and zealous in their approaches. This is meant to go and just destroy any specific holy sites or anything that the Forsaken would view as, it's meant to go out there and just demoralize them by specifically targeting all those things that they hold dear.
Ah, I see. So basically, I could very easily expect to see this, you know, tearing chunks out of, say, the city wall. Say there was a siege or something. This thing's target is, I'm going straight to the middle of the city to grab any holy relics and tear them to shreds.
Yes.
Right. Next up, we have a couple of different ones here. So these are some of the smaller ones, I think?
No, these are actually both 80mm base models. The core...
I'm wrong, sorry.
The core has a plethora of large models because they're robots. I mean, they're meant to be big and bulky.
Okay, well, who do we have?
So here on the left, we have the Recovery Bot. This much was like a companion unit to the Chirurgian. The Chirurgian was meant to be like a battlefield medic to actually go out there and fix guys and patch them up. The Recovery Bot was meant to go out there and find scrap and, you know, wounded and actually bring them back. And that's this robot's purpose as well.
Okay.
Is that it will actually fix the other units that are on the battlefield, make them better, and actually act as a kind of a robotic healer.
Ah, nice one. And the other character here?
The other one is a Pathfinder. That is a repurposed deforestation robot. So that is a giant spider bot, one of my favorite models in the range. It comes in two varieties. The Mark I, which has giant buzz saws for hands, meant for cutting down trees. At least it was meant for cutting down trees. Now it's for cutting down whatever's in front of it.
Yeah, and the other variant?
And the other one is meant for mining operations, so it has a rock drill and a heavy flamethrower.
Ooh, sounds nasty. And our final image here, what is this?
This here would be the Zeta Max. So this is a little different than the other core robots you're going to see.
Okay.
This is actually a robot made for kind of robot pit fighting. The design template was made because they're very cheap and very easy to make, but also highly unstable. This is something that engineers would make to literally fight against each other for entertainment purposes. So it's got a plasma fuel center in its core right there, and then it's got a plasma launcher, also highly volatile, so it has a tendency to blow up.
Okay, so basically, once the core has woke up again, it has been drawing in every last robotic entity it can find in its local area. It has found these and went, well, they'll be useful. Let's use those.
Everything has a purpose, whether it's for finding fuel or becoming fuel.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the playstyle for the core on the tabletop, and what do I need to do to try and actually beat them?
Well, one of the things they have in their basically in the rules is there are alpha level programs and there are gamma level programs.
Okay.
Basically, controllers and the drones really. So they have that sort of dynamic working. You've got models that you want to be advancing behind your drones to keep them moving forward, doing what you want them to. But they've got a pretty broad range of possibilities. Obviously, lots of things. We were talking about buzz saws and so on. We've got plasma launchers. They've got a lot of flexibility, really.
Also, some of the highest tech still, because they are advanced robots. That doesn't mean you're going to have to deal with a bunch of malfunctions when you're dealing with them, because the technology has broken down. Yeah. But so you get to play with a bunch of the shiny, cool toys, but you got to pay the cost for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the way I'm looking at this from what you said, if I'm fighting against these, I am going to target those bigger bots at the back, the control robots. See if I can break those down. I'm not sure how will that affect the drones once a control robot dies.
So with the gamma rules, basically you have some robots that if there's no alpha around to control them, they'll just beeline toward the nearest enemy and just start attacking them, because that's the basic setting they have. Yeah. The alphas are the ones that can actually develop strategies and do things like that. So if you take down all the alphas, all the smaller ones who are still deadly in their own right, they're just going to default to attacking whatever's closest, so you can kind of corral them to where you need to be.
Yeah, or if I kill the big one, all of a sudden there's just a wave of machine death coming towards me.
Yeah.
Yep. So don't think it's going to make them sort of shut down. They're going to keep coming for you.
Yeah, no, you see, that's what I was hoping for was, okay, I've killed the big one. These aren't as effective now. Wait, why is it still running toward me? No. Okay, I'm dead.
Yes.
Okay, well, guys, that's the core. That's the robot faction for the world of Dark Age. I quite like these as well. Drop us a comment below. Is this the faction for you? We'll see you in the next video.